Found it. And welcome to the Ruben Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original movie, Lost Bullet. A small-time delinquent turned police officer mechanic for a go-fast force is forced to defend his innocence when his mentor is killed by dirty cops. The first thing I should say about this film is you've seen it before. It's basically Fast and Furious kind of toned down, but it has a more realistic feeling, and it also has quite a bit of heart. I really like this. There's a sort of mentorship relationship that goes on here, and then there's also a brother relationship going on here. So you have these two themes. You have a redemption arc, and it seems to work. So it starts out with this guy who messes up, is doing something for the guy that he's kind of grown up, basically his brother. He does some time, and then the police come and take him to be this mechanic, and he has this mentor relationship that works really well. I'd say the protagonist, he's got a lot of presence on screen, meaning that he's quite likable. You almost immediately like his character. You believe him in his plight. He also holds himself very well on screen, not like big, rough and scary. He comes across like he knows how to hold himself in a fight. And in the car chase movie, which this is, it's a Fast and Furious point A to B film. There's a journey adventure. I'll tell you about that in a minute. In a Fast and Furious-esque movie, this film's best scene for me was in the police station with a fight sequence, which I thought was really great. It's a mixture between really good choreography that's believable. So this guy isn't a professional assassin, so he shouldn't be able to fight like one. But he does fight well, and as you see him going through these fight sequences, it becomes more and more intense because you believe what's happening in that fight sequences. And I was like on the edge of my seat going, well, this is a really good, fun sequence that I believe probably could happen like this. There is a lot of kind of, like with Fast and Furious movies, I don't know why I keep referencing it, think of less budget Fast and Furious, less Hollywood. That's the type of film this is. But there is a sense of believability that you have to kind of push to the side. This mechanic is a genius with cars, and he can seemingly go into a warehouse and make the car like into an unstoppable tank sort of thing. There is one particular warehouse where he goes into a car, and there's just stuff that he happens to have exactly what he needs to make a car be like he needs it to be, without doing spoilers. And I thought that was slightly unbelievable. But for the most part, you believe what happens. When cars smash into each other, they don't explode and become Michael Bay fireworks. Rather, they just get wrecked. I really like the sequences with the how it's filmed as well, between the car chase sequences. Does some very interesting, clever camera work, where they've thought about what that would look about. They place you in the crash as well with some of the camera shots. They must have used some really tough GoPros and just really had an amazing shell for when you see what happens inside it. Nice slow-mo movements there as well with some of the camera shots, which I thought was very fun. So really puts you in the tension of what's happening. But the driving force behind this has to be your protagonist, and you have to believe his plight and what he's going for. And it is that journey story. There's something that can help him and prove his innocence. There's something that can help him and prove who the bad guys are. And so you have this MacGuffin. It's always that kind of thing, that MacGuffin thing that will help him. And so the bad guys want this MacGuffin thing, and the good guy needs to take the MacGuffin thing to take it and put it in the place where it can help him. And so that's your arc. As long as you have a character that you can enjoy, you don't need to rewrite the book. And I think that's why this film works. I don't think it's brilliant. It doesn't rewrite the book. It doesn't need to. You do have to read subtitles, or I did. And I enjoyed it. For the most part, I didn't clock watch. It's a right length. It's not too long. I think it's just over an hour and a half. And so for an action car film with decent stunts, have to praise the stunts, decent camera work, good acting. I thought there was no one that I thought was like terrible or weakling. I think this is pretty good. It reminds me of films like Initial D and Fast and Furious, just with less polishedness, if that makes sense. Less Hollywood. It's a more grounded, realistic take on this sort of film. And if you had a great protagonist, which I think we did, that will hold your attention, because the story is basic. Like I said, you've seen it before. I think this is a solid B movie. Chat to me in the comments below what you thought about this. Were you looking forward to it? I saw a little bit of the trailer. I was intrigued enough to stick it on. Yeah, so it's not my favorite movie ever. There's definitely better car films, but there are a lot worse as well. So yeah, do chat to me in the comments below about this film. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.